Morro de Castelo Branco is one of the most impressive landscapes in Faial. It's a volcanic trachytic dome with well-preserved coastal endemic habitats, and it is an important nesting site for seabirds. Here, we have been applying different conservation techniques for a long period of time. Today, it is one of Faial's main attractions and an example of sustainable development. But it wasn't always that way. 20 years ago, it was a dump place, like we can see here in old photographs. It was almost completely invaded with invader plants, especially Arundodonax cane, but also Carpobrotus edulis. They covered 60 or 70% of this area. Invasive plants control is the first step in conservation actions. It is a very demanding task in both well-preserved and degraded areas. After controlling one invasive species, another takes its place, so it's a big effort until invaders are replaced by native vegetation. Vidalia and lotus populations are directly reinforced by plantation with plants from the nursery. The objective is to establish new and stable nuclei. As we can see here with lotus, reintroductions also occur in cases where the original population is threatened or in decline. From here, we obtain extra seeds for propagation. Rabbits are particularly aggressive to lotus, which represents a nutritious food source almost all year round. Plantations must therefore be protected. Rats are a threat to both target species, but also to the whole ecosystem. Innovative non-chemical traps are being widely used. Interventions in relatively well-kept areas achieve the best results. Invasive species removal is usually followed by natural regeneration of native vegetation. Renaturalizing disturbed areas is a greater challenge. Native vegetation is almost absent and substrate is profoundly changed. In these cases, we plant large numbers of companion species which are able to compete with invaders. For pastures conversion, we have a different approach, much more prolonged in time. Erica azorica is planted in order to re-establish the Macaronesian hiss in 15 or 20 years. Direct seedling has proven to be effective with lotus. New nuclei have been established with this technique. This is one of the most emblematic intervention areas here. We are in the original nucleus of Azurina vidali, and basically here the system is relatively intact. It was, well, quite invaded with some invader plants, which we removed, including this fern, this exotic fern called Sirtomium falcatum. We removed this plant before the seeding season last year. And this year we managed to see a big offspring of little Azurina vidalia plants right in the place where we removed these ferns from. Conservation goals are only achieved through constant maintenance with capacitated staff. It is possible to reverse the loss of species and habitats, even in degraded areas. This is an ongoing process that cannot stop. Projects like Life Vidalia provide the necessary means to develop these actions in the long term. with the contribution of LIFE program of the European Union.